welcome to another Putrid Ramblings. It's been a while since I made one of these videos, and I thought it would be time to talk a little bit about the hobby and things that I've been working on. I'm going to make this a short video because I'm sweating my ass off here in my studio, so let's dive right in, shall we? First, I would like to talk a little bit about the Army Painter. I've been trying more and more of their new Fanatics range, and I really enjoyed the paints. They're pretty good. In my last videos of the Dark Oath and the Ironjaws, I've been trying out a couple of these triads that the Army Painter has made of colors that go from dark to light, and they'll fit together quite nicely. And especially the one that I use for the lava works really nice, and that video is coming very shortly, so you can see how I made those lava bases. But so far I'm pretty happy with the new Army Painter Fanatics line. Pretty good paints, the special effects paints are pretty good, and they seem to be doing their own thing. They don't just copy Citadel paints, they have their own color schemes, which I really appreciate. Just adds to your paint toolbox basically. So yeah, I can definitely recommend them, and I'll definitely be using them more and more in my upcoming tutorial videos. Besides painting, things that also keep me busy are actually playing the games. I've been playing Warhammer 40k for over a year now. Had a lot of fun doing that with my Death Guard, World Eaters and Adeptus Mechanicus with the new rules, which really work. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun, but I've slowly, you know, it's a lot more of the same. There are not really any new armies that I find interesting to start collecting. So I've been leaning more towards Age of Sigmar, which I'm really excited about to start playing, but it's a lot less people play it, so it's a bit more difficult to get games going. Currently, I already had quite a bit of Age of Sigmar armies. But of course, a new edition means you gotta start a new army, where at least that's what I think. And I started painting up my Dark Oath, which the videos are up on my channel. I really enjoyed painting these models. A lot of work though, lots of details. Definitely will not be painting any more Dark Oath after this, probably for quite some time. They were quite labor intensive, is I think the right word. But hopefully soon I'll be able to field them in battle and see what they can actually do, because I have no idea. I do have the more conventional Slaves to Darkness units standing by to paint as well, like Chaos Warriors, Chaos Knights, and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll get there in due time, and but you know, the Dark Oath were something really special. I really like the sword and sorcery look of the barbarians, and the Wilder Fiend was pretty cool. So I really wanted to paint those guys up first, and slowly build a Slaves to Darkness army around those units. Another army that have caught my eye is the Ironjaws, which I always had a little thing going for those big chunky orcs, and I finally just bought a box, and then another box, and then another box, and now I have about 1,000 points of that army. But they're elite orcs, which I think is kind of weird. You know, orcs are I'm used to orcs being like a horde army. You got like tons of them just running around the field, but these are quite elite. They're expensive models in game. They have great armor saves, which is very weird, but it's fun. It's a new thing. So yeah, I'll be painting them up. I'll be making a video for the Gorguntras because those pig models just look amazingly weird and cool. I got the Maw Crusher coming as well. The big salad dragon, lettuce dragon, whatever you want to call it. It looks like a piece of lettuce, really. But so yeah, I got some stuff cooking up for that as well coming up. And one last thing that always have a soft spot for at Age of Sigmar are the Flesh Eater cores. Now they finally have had a range refresh, which is great. They got all these awesome new characters. They finally have a big boss model as well, Usharan. And I was thinking, to make the spearhead. Because it's a weird thing. Usually when I start an army, after a while I'll start making up the the looks of the army, the painting recipe, and that's usually a thing I'm happy with. I'll just start painting that whole army in that color scheme, maybe vary it up a little bit, but usually it's what you see is what you get. But for some reason, flesh eaters, like I've made a flesh eater court video, which is somewhere up here now, probably. Then I painted the Gore Warden, the new model for a painting competition, which you can see here, in a slightly different scheme. Then I painted the Skinnerkin, another video which I'll post up here as well, also in a different scheme. So now I don't really know what to do color-wise. So now I'm going to paint the spearhead, and I'm going to try to look at it as a brand new army. So I'm not going to really, it'll probably be based a little bit about the things I've already done, but I'm going to try to make it in its own thing, really. One other final thing I would like to discuss is a brand new game, which is not Warhammer related, but got me really excited. So this last Saturday I was at a local gaming club where someone gave a demo for a game called Moonstone, which is a small skirmish game which works very different from the regular Warhammer games. And what really sold me on the game was the models. The models look amazing. They're slightly larger than GW Warhammer models, and they look really nice and cool. So I got pretty excited and I bought a couple of those new models. So I would also like to paint them as well on the channel. Usually I just focus on Warhammer related stuff, and I'm going to try something else this time with Moonstone. And because there are very few models and they look very unique, I want to try to make this like a next level thing. See if I can level up my painting, either use new techniques or tools that I have. I still have those villainy inks that I haven't really tried yet because, well, you know, they're expensive bottles and such, so you're not really going to use those for army painting because you're gonna use it up quite quickly. So, well, you could, of course, but you know, it's these are more like special paints. So a skirmish game with only, I think you only have 6 miniatures if you play a 2-player game. So it's just 6 minis, and I'm going to try to make it something really special. Now, I try to do that with all the models that I paint, but usually I paint with the idea of army painting. So you want to field an entire army. How are you going to do it? You're not going to spend like hours and hours on just one model. You need like a smart recipe that you can do on a whole unit in one go, so that unit is looking good on the table. And there'll be little mistakes, you know, but you want those models to look good from a distance. I'm not painting Golden Demon type stuff. I'm painting stuff that looks good on the tabletop. At least that's what I'm trying to do. But with the Moonstone miniatures, I might actually try to kick it up a notch, really. I think the models will lean towards that quite a bit. If we look at the models that I'm interested in, it's definitely the goblins, because, you know, goblins are cool. You got a goblin riding a pug, which is fun. You got the goblin airship, which is an inflatable frog, which is just hilarious. And the other thing that's really cool are the fawns and the wild things, which are all these woodland monsters and cherubs and all that stuff, which look really nice. And I want to try to paint it a little creepy, a little grim, you know, bring the grim dark into Moonstone, but in a way that, you know, the model will be able to be readable from a short distance when it's on the tabletop. I'm also printing some scenery for the game. So yeah, you know, there's going to be new videos on that as well in the near future. I was thinking of maybe making them look a little different, because normally I have a certain way of the way my videos look, graphic wise, you know, which might just be for Warhammer. I might change it up a little bit with Moonstone, I don't know yet. But these are things that I'm working on and things that I'm looking forward to showing you guys as well. Well, that's the end of my little ramblings video. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And yeah, you know, new painting tutorials are coming. Lots of Age of Sigmar is coming. Moonstone is also coming. So yeah, you know, if you're into that, that's great. If you're not, it's a bummer, I guess. But yeah, you know, and that's it. Thanks for watching.